when the person we love is not coming back. When someone is not coming back, when someone has changed and they no longer are who they used to be. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. I got to thinking about what happens when someone has changed so significantly from what we remember them or what we had hoped that they would become, that we almost don't recognize them. They're almost unrecognizable. In my life, I've known people along the way that have changed for the better, that they turned their life around through smart choices and decisions, which kind of surprised and amazed a lot of people. So that can happen in that direction where people make new choices, new decisions, and turn their life around for the better. And yet there are people that go in the opposite direction. They go in a more negative direction, at least a direction that we do not wish that they would go in. Some people make prolonged, continual choices that lead them into a different direction, almost unrecognizable to who we remember them as. It's almost as if their DNA has changed and they're almost like a different person. I've known people like that no matter what amount of encouragement was done, no matter what amount of suggestions or offering of help, no matter what opportunities they were given, they continued to go in a different direction. Perhaps it could have been bad health habits and it just caused them to deteriorate over a period of time, or bad choices or bad decisions or whatever. And they knowingly did these things to the point that the person that we remember, that we loved, that we cared about, that we were in a relationship with, we just no longer recognize anymore. Perhaps they're just not coming back. I believe in always holding out hope. I believe hope is a wonderful thing, but also sometimes hope stops us from seeing the real reality. I remember many years ago, there was a person that my family knew, and that person over a period of time went from this amazing person to a fraction of who they used to be. And it was really through their own negative choices and decisions. That person never returned to the person that ultimately we all hoped that that person would become again. We all prayed, we all hoped, we all encouraged, we all gave opportunities to that person, but they just threw them away and they just headed in that negative habit direction, to the point that physically they didn't even look the same, because their physical habits were not good, and their choices and their decisions and the people they hung out with and their opportunities, they threw the good opportunities away. And that person never did change. They never did change, and they just deteriorated. We loved them anyhow, but we had held out this hope, this elusive hope, that they would turn their life around and go in a right direction and have great health habits and great financial habits and great every kind of, habits and great choices and decisions, but it never took place. They were not the person that we had hoped that they would become, nor were they the person that we had remembered them as being. We still were sort of lost in time with the perception of who we remembered them as being. So what do we do when that person that we hoped for is not coming back? It just depends on the relationship. It just depends on who they are, the significance in our life, and how we look at things. For me, I believe that sometimes we have to let go. Sometimes we have to let go of the perception of who we think another person is or was, and who another person is or was in our life. And so some people do change so significantly that they're never going to go back to who we wish that they were. Now, remember, we're all changing and we're all growing, and we're never quite the same as what we used to be. We're not going to be what we were at 20 and when we're 60. We grow, we develop, but hopefully we grow and develop in a positive way. So people don't stand still and remain exactly who they are and how they are, but we hope that people go in a positive direction. And yet, what happens if someone really does not go in that positive direction? Well, for me, I love them anyhow. Some people I have to love more at a distance. Some people I can't be around at all. Some people I can let them know that I love them, but our relationship is now limited. Some people I can still hang out with and accept them exactly as they are. It just all depends on the relationship. But some people do change, and sometimes the person that we once remember, that we once knew, will never come back. And sometimes we have to accept this new person for their reality and their choices and their decisions and their habits and who they are today, rather than, using hope and wishing forever and not accepting them for who they are. Sometimes we just are better off to accept people for who they are now and where they're going, rather than our perception of what we wish that they would be. From my house to yours, may God bless you, and I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.